Good morning, happy Monday. Canceled classes today, so I'm in the studio and I thought I'd do a video and talk to you about a couple things. First of all, I've gotten the question, what should I wear to your studio? What you wear is about how you're comfortable. It's not about what you look like. It also has a lot to do with the season it is. If it's hot or it's cold, obviously. It also depends on the type of class you're doing. For our gentle class, you want to be comfortable. I've got sweats on today, it's cold outside, and I know I'm going to be doing a Warrior Foundation class, so I'm going to be moving slow, and sweats, pajamas, and anything that you're comfortable in is very good for those types of classes. You want to be comfortable. For the higher level classes, and what I mean by higher level is they tend to get a little faster, we tend to move a little bit more, we go up and down, side to side more in our poses. I have found that the tighter the clothing, the better, because it does not hinder your yoga practice. I see people who wear t-shirts that are too loose, or any kind of shirt that's too loose, and it's constantly coming up and they're having to push it down all the time. That's hindering their practice. So either wearing a tighter shirt or a shirt that you can wear tucked into your pants, tighter pants that you don't have to worry about when you're moving around, your pants are bothering you. So that's important. But do you have to go buy fancy leggings? Someone asked me that. No, go to TJ Maxx or Old Navy. Find you some yoga pants if you want to do the Lululemon and Victoria's Secret. Absolutely. It doesn't matter. You wear what you want to wear, what your personality is, and what you're comfortable in, and what will not hinder your practice. Okay, that's very important. Number two, why did I name my studio a Warrior's Place? There's a couple reasons. Someone asked me if we do CrossFit here, or if we lift heavy weights. I guess those types of people are considered warriors. Absolutely, they are considered warriors, but yogis are considered warriors too. Anybody that does something to make themselves stronger physically and mentally, in my opinion, is a warrior. So that's one of the reasons this is a warrior's place, and everything we do here is to become stronger, physically and mentally, and awaken the warrior within. We all have it. Number two, in Hindu philosophy, there is a warrior story that follows the warrior poses that we do. And I'm going to tell you about that when we do our foundations. It changed my practice. I had been practicing about 5 years when I learned the warrior story. And it surprises me how many yoga teachers and yoga students have not been told about the warrior story. So we'll do that when we start our practice. So I'm going to do just some foundational things that you can work on in your practice at home. All right, so let's get started. We're going to start at the top of our mat. Okay, we're going to work through a couple different sun salutations, and then we will work through a warrior flow. Sun salutations are started at the top of your mat. You want to think about grounding through your feet. You start at your feet and you work your way up, grounding and tightening your body. So just work your way all the way up. Shoulders back, heart lifted, chest is open, fingers flutter. Chin is straight. We're going to close our eyes. And we're going to start to focus on our breath. Pranayama is the breath of life. It is the absolute best breath that you can take, that you can practice. We're breathing in through the nose, filling up the lungs, and exhaling really big out the mouth. Inhale in through the nose. Okay, you've got that new oxygen that's going through your nasal cavity. It's going down and filling up your lungs, doing all kinds of great, wonderful things for our lungs and our hearts, and then we're exhaling out all that old stuff that we do not need. A couple more deep breaths. We're becoming mindful as we focus and we follow on our breath, which is really important in our practice. We're keeping our thoughts on ourselves. We're going to inhale our arms up, creating some length in our spine and our torso. And then as we exhale, we're going to reach back. We want to do our spinal extension and also open our heart. We're going to inhale back up, reaching up. And then exhale, forward fold, keeping the spine straight, the back straight, and then relaxing at the bottom. Once you get down here, kind of move your head a little bit. Just relaxing, pushing through the heels a little bit more than your toes, a little bend in your knees. Fingers to shins. We're going to lift ourselves up for a halfway lift. My spine is straight, my back is straight, my legs are straight. Sometimes people cannot straighten their legs, and that's okay. We want our weight to be into our heels, and we want to press our tailbone up so that we're getting a nice hamstring stretch here. I've opened my heart, I've pulled my shoulders back. And in our next exhale, we're going to forward fold. If the legs are straight, you want to bend the knees just a little bit here now. And then we're going to bend them even more and take our right foot back to our low lunge. So I am on the tips of my fingers for my low lunge because I have short arms. And it's important to open your heart in your low lunge. And when you do that, you also get a bigger stretch. So if you're down here, you're not really lengthening or extending your spine, and you're not getting that stretch that you need to get. So a lot of times a block is needed in this position. And then we're going to push through the palms and take the front foot back for our down dog. Relax your head. Then we want to bend our knees several times. It's called walking the dog. I'm also going to push my chest back towards my legs. And sometimes you need to bring your feet up a little to push back on your heels. Sometimes you need to bend your knees. Okay, it doesn't matter if your legs are straight or not. Okay, so work on where you think those feet need to be in order to be pushing back on your heels. And then we're going to do a very beginner level vinyasa. So let's come to our high plank, and then we're going to immediately drop our knees. So we need to come down to the mat, and we want to take our weight forward about an inch or two. And let's just pulse back and forth, because when you do that, I want you to be able to feel where that is in your arms. So when we go forward, we have our weight into our triceps. And then when we come down, we push up to a cobra. And then come on back down. We're going to tuck the toes, push back up to the knees, and then come into our down dog again. Pressing the chest back, getting some length in the spine. Moving the knees, walking the dog. And then we're going to come up to the top of our mat. Just walk on up and find your forward fold. Relax your head. Bring the arms up, high mountain. And we're going to keep going into the left side. So lengthen up and backwards, reaching back, opening the heart, extending the spine, reach up. Now this time I'll do forward fold, going hands to heart center. Doesn't matter how you do your arms. We're keeping our back as straight as we can, and then relaxing at the bottom. Relax your head. Fingers to shins, halfway lift. Okay, I've lifted myself up. My back is very straight. My weight is in my heels. My tailbone is pressing up. And then relax into your forward fold. And then bend the knees a little bit more and take your other foot back for your low lunge. Again, pushing down through that back hip and opening your heart. Let's push down through the hands and take that foot back so you're in your down dog. We'll get a nice big stretch. Then we'll come into our high plank. We will drop to our knees for table. We're going to shift our weight forward to put our weight into our triceps. And then we're going to come down to the mat. Okay, I'm leading with my chest. I'm keeping my hips up. And then I'm coming down and rolling up into my cobra. Also check out my elbows. My elbows aren't locked. There's a little bend in them, okay? And that's because my hips are down. You don't want to straighten your arms. You don't want to lock your elbows. That could hurt your shoulders. You can do that upward, but not here in cobra. So come on back down. Push back up to your table, and then to your down dog. And then come on up to the top of the mat. Fold. High mountain. Come to your hands to heart. We'll take a couple deep breaths. So now we'll do another round. And you can use the knees in your vinyasa if you feel like you need them for that strength. Sometimes if you don't quite have enough strength to come down to the mat with your chest first, you should use your knees. And then we'll also push up to that upward cobra, and I'll show you the difference in between your arms for those. So come on up for your high mountain. Open your heart. Back up. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Fold. Bend the knees. Take the right foot back. Low lunge. Take the other foot back for your down dog. Let's come to our high plank. Drop to your knees if you need to, or shift forward and down to your mat. Now cobra is coming up, elbows bent, but lifting up and coming down. Upward dog is if we push through the tops of our feet and lift ourselves, lifting the hips up. Now we can move our hips, and it's okay for those arms to be straight, okay, for upward dog. Let's come on back down, tuck the toes, push up to table, and then your down dog. Come on up to the top of the mat. Find your fold. High mountain. Let's keep going. Open the heart. Back up. And fold. Halfway lift. And fold. Bend the knees. Left foot back. Low lunge. Right foot back. Down dog. High plank. Drop your knees here if you need to work on getting strength. Shift forward and down to your mat. Let's push up for that upward dog. So pushing through the tops of your feet. Lift the hips, press them forward, open the heart. And then this time I'm going to tuck my toes and head on back to down dog. Come on up to the top of the mat. Forward fold. High mountain. Hands to heart center. So the upward dog cobra arms is one of the things that I try to give a lot of cues on. There aren't a lot of things in yoga that I feel like the pose has to be done perfectly. That's why I don't do adjustments. I don't believe in them. But I do watch my students a lot, and I can see where if I see something being done a lot, time and time again, that I know could possibly hurt your shoulders or your knees. Those are the two places where you can get injury if you're not doing a couple things correctly. And that upward dog cobra, the arms not locking the elbows in cobra, but being able to come up higher for upward, that is one of those. So watch your cobras when you're doing your cobras. Okay, you want to lift, but you want to just not lock your elbows. It's the best way I can explain it. Rolling the shoulders back, keeping the elbows bent just slightly. So let's go into a warrior flow, and I'll tell you the story of Virabhadra. This is from Hindu philosophy, and it's about a kingdom with a king who had a princess who met a warrior god who was known to meditate on the mountain. He had dreadlocks, he meditated, he did funky things with his body, and the king did not like him. The princess did, and against her father's wishes, she married that warrior god. And the king had a party for the kingdom, except he did not invite his daughter and her new husband, and it very much upset her, so much that she wanted to go talk to her husband, her father, the king. She begged him in front of the kingdom to accept her new husband because she loved him so much, and he would not. So she sat down in front of him and everyone else and practiced Ujjayi, or fire breath, which is breathing in and out your nose. That is breath that creates heat. And she did it so long and so strongly that she actually blew herself up in front of everyone. When her husband heard about this, he was very, very angry, and immediately created from the earth Virabhadra with the intention of killing everyone in that kingdom because of what happened to his wife. Warrior 1 is a creation of Virabhadra. It is the position where we are grounded in through our mat. I love to do warriors in the grass. We'll do that in the summer. I love being grounded into the grass and into the earth. It's a position where he is born from the earth and he has swords in his hands. We have a very, very strong front leg with that knee stacked right over our ankle. We have our hip open, but our back foot is grounded, so this is a grounding pose. We are lengthened through our torso and our spine. Our triceps are wrapped and tight, and we have swords in our arms, as arms. And unfortunately, we were born to do something very bad. Warrior 2 is getting ready for the battle. So he's turning and he's opening. He's got his swords ready. We still have that strength in our front leg. We are still grounded in our back leg. Our shoulders are soft, but our arms as swords are long, and we have our focus in front of us as we are getting ready for our battle. We want to think about our core here, lengthening and pulling in. Reverse warrior is possibly reconsidering what is being done. Our legs are still going forward. That knee and that strength in our quad has not changed. We are still grounded, but our arms are going into the opposite direction. Unfortunately, the decision is made that he is definitely going to do this. So warrior 3 is swords are and arms are forward. We've gone into a balance pose, and Virabhadra is killing everyone, including the king that was there who watched his wife die. Let's come back to warrior 1. After he has seen what this Virabhadra has done to everyone, he feels very sorry for what he has done. And he realizes he made a very, very bad decision. So he asks the gods for forgiveness. And he is forgiven. And everyone in that kingdom is brought back to life. So then he becomes a humble warrior. So we take our hands behind us, rolling the shoulders back. We are leading with our heart. So we want to keep a very nice flat back, shoulders back, leading with the heart, coming down as low as we can, and then bringing the hands forward, letting them fall, letting the head fall. And then we want to come back up with that nice flat back. So we roll the shoulders back, lift the chin, still have that strength in our front leg. Come up. And now we're ready for the best part, which is peaceful warrior. So we need to be in a high lunge, so I've turned on my back toes. We're going to reach the arms up and go into an open twist. And then we want to drop the back hand and reach that other hand up, maybe backwards if you want to do a little back bend. Peaceful warrior is after him being forgiven in the kingdom, coming back. He goes off and he lives in peace. So that is the story of the warrior. So now maybe when you do the warriors, you'll think about that. Let's do the other side. We're going to come into that warrior one. That front knee is right over our ankle. That foot is very grounded. The hip is open in the back. And that foot is very grounded. We have our heart forward, our arms up, our triceps tight, but our shoulders soft. And then we go into warrior two. Relax your shoulders. Front knee over the ankle. Shoulders are relaxed. Our focus is going forward. We're going into battle, getting ready for battle. Our legs do not move, but we reverse our arms. And then we go into battle. Warrior three. Arms forward. We're looking straight down. We're in a balanced pose. Then we're going to come back to warrior one, grounding that back foot. And then we'll go into humble warrior. So interlace your fingers behind you. I always like to do a little back bend here, just to open my heart a little bit more. Then we're going to lead with the heart, coming down, raising the hands up, and letting the arms fall forward. Come on back up, roll those shoulders back. Nice flat back. We're going to turn on those back toes. We're going to reach the arms up and go into our twist. And then back hand down, front hand up. Peaceful warrior. And then we'll come back up to standing. Why is that story so, I don't know. Why was it so moving to me? Because we all go through those emotions in life. We make decisions based on anger, jealousy, ego. We make decisions too quick. So that story teaches us to take a breath, take a few breaths, take some time before you make decisions like that. You have to understand what a decision can do to others. So that's why that resonates with me, because in our lives we all go through different emotions, different situations. So the ending of that story is what we want to remember. So we do those warrior flows in Warrior Foundation and in Warrior 2. We do the warriors all the time, but I like the foundation class because we really work through the warriors. So let me know if you have any questions. If there is anything that I can help you with, message me, call me. I'm always around. I love to talk to people about yoga and how I can help anyone in their yoga practice. So, hands to heart center. If you did your practice with me today, we'll take our thumbs to our third eye chakra and bow down. Namaste. Thanks everyone. Have a great Monday. Hope to see you soon. Bye.